FPL Gameweek 28 is here, and every transfer you make now is in the shadow of Blank Gameweek 31. Do you load up on Man City for their great fixtures over the next three, or start protecting your team for the blank? And with Haaland likely to be the most captain player again, is this a week where you play it safe, or take a punt and go against the crowd? Hi everyone, welcome back to FPL Fix, and this time it's the Gameweek 28 preview. My name's James, and with me as usual, with a matching green arrow this week, is Patrick.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm fresh off the back of a green arrow and up to my highest rank of the season. I've got transfers in the bank, so I'm going to really enjoy this one. Let's get into it.
Yeah, you've got to enjoy the good weeks when they come. We'll start things off with the teams to target over the next few weeks, and Man City move to the top, which is a bit annoying when we know they're likely to blank in just 4 weeks' time. Liverpool are second, they have two great fixtures up next, and they've really improved in the last few weeks.
Brentford are next, and the big discussion is Schade or Dango for managers want to double up with Thiago to attack these great fixtures. Bournemouth to the last spot. They're unbeaten in the last 7 Premier League games and really should keep up with their form with the upcoming fixtures. So players like Ryan and Tavernier could be really interesting.
Okay, let's take a look at the players to target, and we'll start in goal. Kelleher stays the top option this week for the same reasons as last time. He's cheap, he's nailed, and he's expected to pick up a few clean sheets over this period. Second is still Alisson. He picked up another clean sheet last time out and could be worth the premium price tag.
Yeah, and last this time is Petrovic. He's put in some good displays lately, has a great upcoming fixtures, and he doesn't break the bank. On to defence, and this one's a tough call because there's so many great options. With Nico O'Reilly at the top, he's been incredible in the last 2 games, picking up a massive 30 points with 3 goals plus a clean sheet. The attacking position is now taking up along with the clean sheet points, making him one of the best assets in the game right now.
Yeah, definitely. It's just really tough to go there when you know he's likely to blank after those 3 games. Van Dijk is next, but could easily be the top of the list. He's guaranteed to play every minute, he's part of the massively improved Liverpool defence, and he's shown his attacking threat in the last 2 games. James Hill takes the last spot. He didn't hit DEFCON last time out, but did still come away with 6 points for the clean sheet. He's gone up in price and moved to just over 5% ownership now, but he's still a big differential and fantastic value.
Into the midfield now, and Semenyo is a player at the top this week. Even though he's a real luxury transfer because of the blank in 31, but he has enormous potential over the next 3. And spoiler alert, I've already signed him for my team this week. He's looked impressive for Man City, and given the fixtures, even if he was still playing for Bournemouth, most of us would want him in our team. Next on the list is Wirtz, but that's assuming that he's fully fit. He was unlucky last week and named on a team sheet, but ruled out for a minor back injury during the warm-up. He's got a great chance of picking up points over these upcoming fixtures, but the turnaround is really quick, with Liverpool playing on Saturday this week and then again on Tuesday next week. So if there's any fitness doubts, then he's got to be avoided despite the glaring potential.
The last midfield spot goes to Dango, but it is still close between him and Schade, and you really could go either way. Dango missed quite a few games for Brentford this season during AFCON, and he did really well in that competition, but because of the time he missed, Schade's played 446 minutes more than him in the league this season. He's delivered 2 points less than him though, and cost $1 million more, so that makes Dango definitely the better value pick, and probably the better overall pick too. Moving on to forwards now, and Haaland is the clear standout. There's quite a few managers who've sold him recently, but with the great fixtures up until the likely blank in 31, he's still the main man. He'll most likely be the highest captain player again this week. Thiago's second, even after his blank last week. He's the 3rd highest scoring forward in the league. He's just fallen behind João Pedro, but with the fixture difference between them, we'd expect Thiago to move back into second spot over the next few weeks.
Next is Ekitike. He's missed so many big chances lately that he's being called a new Darwin Nunez. He has already shown his goal scoring ability this season though, and being the only striker available for Liverpool, he's going to get more chances. I'm sure he's going to go back to goal scoring form before long and could be great over this fixture run.
Okay, let's talk captaincy, and Haaland is the number 1 this week. Man City have more than enough motivation at the moment, and they always finish the season strongly. The Leeds defence has looked shaky recently, and it could line up perfectly for a big score from the big Norwegian. Second on the list is Bruno Fernandes. He's at home against the Crystal Palace team, who've looked out of sorts lately, and they'll be knackered following their European game last night, and that's just 3 days before they play Man United at Old Trafford. Bruno's DEFCON stats have reduced under Carrick, but he's never far away from points. He's playing a more attacking role and has big potential this week.
Yeah, and the 3rd place, but definitely another viable option is Thiago. He's been out of form recently, but what better game to play himself back into form than a match against Burnley. Even if he doesn't score from open play, there's a good chance of a penalty or two, given how much time Brentford are likely to spend on the attack and inside Burnley's penalty area. He's not going to be the most popular option this week, but does have really good potential as well. Let us know in the comments section who's going to get your armband this week.
Okay, well before we look at our team reveals ahead of Game Week 28, let's have a quick look back at our teams from Game Week 27, and I'll start. After the misery from the wasted triple captainship, my team bounced back really well and I picked up a nice green arrow that moved me back to within a single point off the top 100k. My only player at the back who did well was Munoz, who was a bit lucky really, with his 9 points after Henderson saved a penalty to keep the clean sheet intact. In midfield, Harry Wilson managed 8 points from an assist, defcon and a bonus point. Up front, my captain Haaland did well, even with a single assist. He managed to outscore Palmer, which was a bit of a surprise, but I was definitely grateful for it. My star player though, Raul Jimenez, at half time he was on a yellow card and I thought he was going to get hooked off at the start of the second half. I was also aware that Muniz was back in the lineup on the bench, so wasn't sure how many minutes my striker would even play. In an incredible turnaround though, he scored 2 goals within 16 minutes of the second half and was subbed off shortly after for a rest. 65 minutes played, 2 goals, 2 bonus and 11 points altogether. He's less than 1% owned at my rank, so that was a massive result for me. How did your team do?
Well, I didn't have a player like Jimenez in my team, but I still picked up a green arrow and moved into the top million for the first time this season. Starting at the back, and there's only one man for me to talk about, and that's Diouf. He scored 9 massive points for me and was a big differential, so that really helped. In midfield, I had returns from Mbeumo with an assist, Rice with defcon, and Wilson's 8-pointer, who we talked about before. Thiago and Calvert-Lewin both let me down, but Haaland's 12-pointer as my captain turned out to be decent in the end. Okay, now let's take a look at how our teams line up for Game Week 28. Why don't you start?
I've actually got a real benching dilemma this week. I haven't hit the button yet, but I'm locked on my one transfer, which is Munoz to Van Dijk, so this is how my team is set up for now. I'm starting Raya at home to Chelsea, especially because I'm considering benching Gabriel this week, so that at least gives me Arsenal clean sheet cover. I'm playing 3 Vans in defence, which I remember doing earlier this season, but haven't done for a while now. Vandenberg away to Burnley, Van Dijk at home to West Ham, and Van Hecke at home to Nottingham Forest. In midfield, I'm definitely starting Bruno with his great home fixture to Palace, and Harry Wilson at home to a leaky Spurs team. The other 2 are Anderson against Brighton and Rice at home to Chelsea, but I might still bench Anderson or Rice and play Gabriel instead. I'm playing 3 up front with Thiago and Haaland, both with great fixtures, even if they are away from home, and Raul Jimenez takes the last spot after his heroics last week. Haaland has the armband, and my only real decision is whether to bench or start Gabriel, and who to bench if I do start him. Let me know in the comments what you would do. Patrick, how's your team lining up?
I'm sticking with double Arsenal at the back this week, with Raya and Gabriel at home to Chelsea. They kept the clean sheet last time they played each other, so I'm quite confident there. I'm playing Gray at home to Leeds, who should do well even though he keeps being outscored by his teammates. And even with the tough fixtures, I'm playing Diouf again. He's been one of my best players lately, so he gets the last defender spot. In midfield, I've sold Cunha and Semenyo. I know he'll probably blank in 31, but I've got the transfers in the bank to deal with it. Other than him, all my other midfielders play at home. Mbeumo and Bruno against a tied Palace team, Rice against Chelsea at time of recording, but I'm very much considering doing Rice to Ryan this week as well. I might well make that move well before the deadline. And the last of my midfield is Wilson against Spurs. I'm playing just 2 at top this week with Thiago against Burnley and Haaland, who's my captain again against Leeds.
And that's all for this one. If you found this useful, then give the video a like and subscribe to the channel to keep up with the latest content. It really helps us out.
Yeah, and you can find us on X, a weekend fix for last minute tips and advice ahead of the deadline at 6:30 today.
Thanks for watching, good luck this game week, and we'll see you next time.